Welcome back to Behind the Box, and welcome to Saturday Airecon.
Yay.
We're not really there, obviously, but...
What? This isn't Airecon?
If you've not seen our Friday video covering the first day of Airecon, then we'll leave the cards in the description, link down below, so check that out first, and then come join us on day 2. So this is the Saturday. This started off with us just getting a cup of tea, because we really wanted a cup of tea.
I was starting to get sick.
Yeah. This happened last year as well. You kind of just pretty quickly just got ill, and that means I'm probably going to get ill over the next couple of days, which is great. We actually started off the day with a couple of people coming up to us. Dan Hughes from This Game Is Broken. He doesn't do it anymore, but he used to host that podcast. He came over to us. We've known Dan for a while now, and just had a quick chat with him. Then Efka came over to us, and again just started chatting with us. We were talking to him for about 10-15 minutes. Just chatting about the convention, other conventions that he's been to. And then Matthew Dunstan, a board game designer who's made games like Elysium and Monumental, he was prototyping a new game while he was there, and he'd arranged with Efka to show him the game, and they invited us to play. So we were like, yeah, let's do it. This game was called Adventure Game. That's it, Adventure Game. Then it was like, what was the Monochrome Inc. So it's basically, if you know the Cosmos games, Exit, all the different series of those that they have.
Yeah.
It's a similar thing to that in that style. So it's going to be another Cosmos game called Adventure Games. Each one is a game that you play over 90 minutes, 2 hours, something like that. And you're done. You've played everything you need to play. Do you want to tell them a little bit about the actual game?
So it's a narrative-driven game that kind of follows the same sort of, you play it once. It's like an exit game in that sense.
Yeah.
But you start off perhaps in a room of this building, and you explore other rooms, and there's different things that you can check out in the room.
Points of interest in the room.
Yeah, items that you can collect, and then you get these cards, and then you can combine them. So, like, as an example, you might get a can of cat food and a can opener, and if you combine those two, then you look in the book and see what it makes, and it makes an open can of cat food. What can you do with that? And then you can maybe take that and combine it with a certain location.
Or the point of interest, if there's a cat on the picture, you combine the can of cat food that's open now with the cat. You go to the entry in the book, it tells you what that does.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah, it's neat. And another thing that I really liked that they did with it is there was a moment where you were in a certain location, and if you're holding a certain item, and if other people are in the room, or if they're in the elevator next door or whatever, different outcomes happen. So, if you're this person, or if you're holding this thing, or if there are other people in the room, you can tell, like, different things happen. Yeah. So I think that's pretty cool.
That was really impressive, because you get a character, and so you play, like, a role, and it actually makes a difference. So one of the characters, for example, might be a hacker. If they're the one that interacts with the computer terminal, then it will tell you, right, here's a bit of description about what your character's looking at. If you're playing as the burglar, go to this page. If you're playing as the grifter, go to this page. If you're playing as the hacker, go to this page. And so it actually, like, makes sense, like, who does what is important. And yeah, like Lindsay said, like, if I'm in the same room as Lindsay when she's trying to talk to somebody, if they then know that I'm there, they think something's up, and it makes the outcome potentially different.
Yeah.
It was really, really good.
Yeah,
I was very impressed by this game.
I'm excited to see where it goes and what other games they come up with. I think that it'll be really cool.
Yeah, they've got 2 so far. We only played one, which was Monochrome Inc. We did one of the missions of it, and then we just stopped there. You can save it. It takes a couple of hours, I think, per mission, or like 60 to 90 minutes per mission, and you get 3 of them in the box. It's going to be the same price point as the Exit games, which was just really impressive to me.
Yeah.
Like, everything about it is really, really cool. We're excited for it to come out, and yeah, I would definitely recommend checking it out when it does. So, the next thing we did, we went and played more Kitty Cataclysm, because we'd agreed with Bez that we would come and join the tournament that was going on at 2 o'clock.
And we won.
Yeah, we won. We had to play as one person, because we joined late.
Yeah.
We had to play as a single person, so we were Crinzy for the entirety of the tournament. And we managed to take the victory, which was quite fun. We won another copy of Wibble Plus Plus, which we've already got, but now we've got 2 decks, so we can play more games with the decks.
Yeah.
And we also got In a Bind, which is what Yogi used to be when Bez
started out as,
made it herself first. Yeah. So yeah, that was just fun. It was fun to meet people. You know, we're talking with a whole table of others, so that's always a nice thing to do. The next thing we did was, after we finished, we went over and met back up with Efka and Matthew and Ross, and we played Paper Tales. So this was a game that my brother was really excited about. That's really loud.
What's going on?
I don't know, someone's been really bad, I think.
Alright.
Maybe we'll cut through that, but yeah, Paper Tales. My brother was really excited about this game. He didn't come with us, but a few months ago he was talking to me about it. It's a drafting game where you're basically making these little combos of like characters and people that could live in your little village, and they die pretty much after 2 rounds. There's only 4 rounds in the game, so everything ages by 1 at the end of each round, and if it's got an age token on it, then it would die instead. And some characters sort of interact with that mechanic of aging and dying. Other people just age and die. It was alright. I enjoyed it. It didn't overstay its welcome, I think was the important thing, because it was only 4 rounds long. If you played it more and more, you could probably get a game of it done in about 15 minutes, I think. And yeah, it was okay. Again, it was just okay. It wasn't bad. You weren't a big fan.
I didn't really like it.
You're not a big fan of card games and drafting and things like that.
But I really enjoyed spending time with the people at the table. It was just a fun experience. You know, there's times where it doesn't really matter the game that you're playing. You just have a good time because you're with people that are fun.
Yeah, and I gotta say, Matthew Dunstan's ability to learn rules and then teach them in amazing. 5 minutes, ridiculous.
So good.
He pulled out the book, read through it in about 30 seconds, and then was like, right, so this is what you do. And we were like, what?
It was really good.
Yeah, that was really cool.
So next we played Entropy. I had it in my purse because we were just thinking of small games that we could bring that, you know, if you wanted to just pull it out like for this purpose, we could. So we pulled out Entropy and played that, and that was a very interesting experience because we've never played it with so many people.
Yeah, I don't think we'd ever done 4-player. Maybe we've done it once or twice.
Maybe,
we
yeah.
usually play it 3-player.
Yeah. And that was kind of eye-opening because we found that the game did have some issues that we didn't really see before when we did our review of it, like last year or whenever that was. And so yeah, it was interesting to sit with other people who can critically think of, you know, the design of a game and discuss it. So yeah, that was interesting. That was really neat to like experience it from a different perspective.
I didn't play it because it only plays up to 4 with the base game, and so because there was Efka walked away, he had to go do something, but then he came back right as I was finished setting up, and I was like, well, let you play, I'll just like moderate and just go through the rules and stuff, which I was happy to do. But yeah, they all kind of had these moments of, I don't really get to do anything because of these clashes, and I don't get to play the card I wanted to play because of this and that. So,
and someone's stuff was like all at the bottom of the because you're trying to get these shards from your, you know, your location and kind of collect them in front of you, and if all of your shards are at the bottom of this deck, it makes it really hard.
But yeah, it was a fun experience just to play, and well, not for me, but just to hang out with everyone. The next thing we did was play a game called Broom Service. Now this won the Kennerspiel déjà in 2015, actually beating Matthew Dunstan's game Elysium for the same award, which we didn't know. He told us at the time, and so yeah, I actually really liked this game. This was my kind of thing. Basically, you're all playing as witch delivery service people.
Yeah,
and
like dropping off potions at different castles.
Yeah, so you want to generate some potions and then travel around a map and drop these potions off, deliver them to different castles, and they're worth different points depending on the castle. I liked it. I thought it was kind of neat. There's a cool mechanic of you have 10, I think it was 10 cards, or 8, something like that.
We've all got the same cards.
Everyone's got the exact same cards, and then you secretly choose the 4 you want to enter that round with. Then, starting with the first player, they play a witch or a druid or someone like that. So let's just say they play the Hill Witch. Okay, this person can travel into hills. They play it and they choose whether or not they want to play as the brave version of that character or the cowardly. If they do the cowardly, then they just do whatever the cowardly action says, and then that's just it. They've successfully done that action. If they choose to be brave, they have to wait until the end of the round, and if they've been able to be the only brave version of that witch, then they get to do that action, and it's just a better version of the cowardly one. The thing is, so let's say I play Hill Witch, and I choose brave. We go around the table then, one player at a time, and they then have to play the Hill Witch if they've got it in their fort. If nobody has, obviously that's great for me, but if anyone does, they might be able to choose the brave witch away from me then, steal it away, and then I don't get anything. That worked for me. I really enjoyed the mind game of it.
Yeah, you were very good at predicting, looking at where people were. Yeah, so you were very good at looking at where people were on the map and kind of understanding what they'd need to be doing. So what are they likely to choose as their 4 cards? And so you were able to be brave when it was smart to be brave, or be cowardly when it was smart to be cowardly.
Yeah.
I was so bad at this game. I don't think I did more than 3 actions. I'm sure I did more than 3, but it felt like I was never doing anything because I was always getting it wrong, being brave when I shouldn't have been brave and that sort of thing.
I thought it was cool, but yeah, it's not for everyone. But I mean, it won an award, but probably for a reason, and a lot of people do enjoy the game, and I get it. So yeah, so that was Broom Service.
Then after Broom Service, we played Avenue, which is now Kokoro Avenue of the Kodama. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we just played the old version of it with the grapes and the vineyards and stuff. Which we
did last year.
Yeah, it's I wasn't planning on doing that, but it ended up that way, and that was fun to play that, and it was just a nice little filler game.
Yeah, that is a nice game. It was getting later into the night. I think it was about probably 8:00 when we played that. We played it with Ross and Matthew. It was just nice. It's just a fun game. And then straight after that, just if you watched our video from last year, we did the exact same. So we did Avenue, and then into Avalon. So we ended up getting pulled into a game of Avalon, and that was just so much fun. That is always a game. We've not played it since last year at Airecon, and it's just so much fun.
Yeah, there was Alex and Andy and Ben that were there, and then Ross and us.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, that was the original 6. Yeah. We cycled
some
the 3
other
people
join in later. Yeah.
But yeah, that's just a great game. It's just so fun. It's kind of becoming our convention game at this point, it seems. We play it at conventions. But
you should have seen this copy of Avalon, though. I've never seen someone put so much hard work into their game before. They altered it so that it's they solved all the problems that some people have with Avalon. Yeah. They had PC mouse mats, instead of the cardboard.
Yeah, they printed a custom image with all of the tracks for 6 through 10 players.
Yeah.
Since the guy that owns it, Andy, he didn't want to play it really ever with 5. So he's made it for 6 at minimum. And so there's 3 tracks that you follow. So it's just one nice neoprene mouse mat.
Yeah.
Instead of a bunch of pieces of double-sided paper.
And instead of tiny little tokens to show if you were for or against something, there were these cool
blocky,
big
puck.
Yeah, yeah, and there are two sides to it, and so it was really satisfying when you smack it down on the table. Yeah, and then big cups that were just blinged out to look really
really bright orange, and then nice stuff on the top.
Yeah, so that you could put them out in front of the people that were going on the mission, so it was really easy to see from across the table who was going on the mission.
Yeah, I mean, he'd made it with conventions in mind when he chose that, because he was right, well, if someone's all the way down there on the table in a 10-player game and they've got this tiny little square token, how are we all going to know what is that for that person? Whereas if it's this big cup, it's right, that's clearly right in front of me,
It even changed the success and failure cards so that it was more contrasting colors, so it's much easier to see when they turn them over if it's success or fail. Just cool. Just really cool when somebody takes the time to alter the game in a positive way, making it a little bit more fun.
Everything was just upgraded.
Yeah, it was cool.
So that was great. That was a lot of fun. And the whole day was just a great day. This was the day for us where we just went in with very few plans. We were right, we're just going to kind of do things as stuff comes up. The only thing we'd planned was the Kitty Cataclysm tournament.
Yeah.
Because we'd agreed the day before.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, other than that, it was just a case of, right, let's just play stuff as it comes up and just enjoy our time here.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Right, that is day 2 done for Airecon. We're going to take a quick break, and you're going to wait a day, and then we will talk about Sundays. Thank you very much, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
So what happened is you get bit, and then someone would go, oh my god, you got these 2 holes, and you go, huh, I didn't feel anything, and then it would heal up, and they go, oh, no, you're not allowed into a home without an invitation. I don't know how it applies to your own home. No, because surely that means Dracula wouldn't ever be allowed back in this castle.